It's July 7th, 2021. Let's start the update with the raspberry. Here you can see a lot of damage from that heat wave, but the new growths are looking nice. And beside the new growths, you can see the fruits are still forming, and the newer fruits are pretty nice, nicely pollinated, like this one over here. And this one is ready to be harvested. The first raspberry of the year. And there's a few more that can be harvested as well, like this one. And you can see a lot more fruits forming, so we're gonna harvest more, hopefully in the upcoming weeks. Here's the asparagus, looks pretty much the same. Leaves are still around, and some parts are sort of dying back. Here's the potato. Potato looks fine still. Here's the mulberry, also looks about the same. Probably a bit more new growth at the bottom. You can see these ones are the new growth from the thicker stems. The grape is looking pretty healthy. You can see a lot of new growths all over the plants. And I try to tie the plants onto the trellis so they don't deviate from the trellis too much. And here's the blueberry. You can see a lot of damage over here. All the leaves are dried up. But a lot of fruits are ready to be harvested, like these ones are definitely ready to be harvested. And here are some of the fruits that are severely damaged by the heat. But we still have a good amount of fruits that we can harvest. These ones are pretty damaged as well. So we definitely lost some blueberry this year because of the heat wave. Here's more of the leaf damage from the heat wave. And this guy is slowly recovering. Green onion looks the same. Rhubarb isn't doing too well because there's a flooding in the pot. I finally drained it, so hopefully it will recover soon. Here's the rosemary. I'm not sure if it's sending out new growths yet. Over here, the pine tree is still growing. You can see a lot more new leaves forming. The calla lily is pretty much done flowering. You can see the flowers are turning green, so it's slowly going away now. Lavender looks great. Still a lot of flowers, but some of the flowers are a little damaged by the heat wave as well. Here you can see some opened flowers, which looks pretty normal and healthy. The rosemary also looks about the same. Here's the dahlia. You can see this side of the plant is severely damaged by the heat wave. Here's the remaining portion that's still looking good. Peony looks about the same. The pineapple also looks about the same. And here are all the bulb plants. And this is the harvest we have this year so far. The first week of harvest of blueberries and raspberries. Also just discovered this new growth from asparagus. Seems like it's still sending out new growths around this time of the year. The hydrangea is severely damaged by the heat wave. As you can see, all the flowers are dried up. And here's just a tiny bit of flowers that have survived. So this is the color that we're supposed to get this year. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. This variety over here is not really affected by the heat wave. Mostly, I think, because most of the flowers have not opened yet, like these little ones. The phalaenopsis flower spike is still growing. As you can see, it's getting taller, taller than last week. Here's the mini oncidium. The two new flower spikes are also getting a lot longer. Both are still growing as well and have not branched out, so the flowers have not formed yet. Here's the other phalaenopsis. You can see that new leaf is getting bigger pretty quickly, actually. Also, you can see some new roots growth. The Venus flytrap is actually flowering. You can see a flower spikes have formed from the biggest plants. Not sure if this is why the leaves are not looking as well. The staghorn fern is looking great, and the shield frond is still pretty tiny.